they tend to be shocked at first, and then they keep looking into it, because most people are in disbelief because they're not coming looking for that. Like, hey, I think such and such popular narrative is a lie, so I'm going to go find, because they would have no reason to think that. But once they get to that point, a certain point along the way, and they realize through a number of pieces of evidence that that thing they thought was the truth is a lie, they keep looking into it, hopefully keep looking into it, and they keep reconfirming it a number of times. And then they come to a point where now they are quite convinced that at least this popular narrative is a lie. And then they can't just hold it in. I don't know what kind of people can actually walk around with the knowledge of the truth about a number of things in the face of so many lies and not have any sort of, like, any feeling of compassion or empathy on the people around them, especially the people close to them, their family and their friends and associates, and have a certain amount of compassion for them and think, I don't want these people to live in lies. Now, a lot of people try to share what they found that to them appears to be the best evidence. Is it always the best? Maybe not always the best evidence. And there's probably aspects to it that are still kind of funky because there's so much controlled opposition out there. There's so many layers of it. Permeations of the truth. You just got to dig. Every layer you get to, you've got to dig harder and see, is there another layer below? And I'm sorry, but that's the way it is. I'm just telling you from experience, that's the way it is. And everybody who's followed me for a long time knows that I've had to find this out over and over and over and over and over. So somebody who reaches that point of truth on a topic, they're standing in front of a wall of lies. Just a huge wall of lies. It's just them. And when they try to share, that the problem is the people that they're trying to talk to now, they're on the other side of that wall. And it's a big wall. And they don't know how to get through. So a lot of times, they might use very cutting language, terminologies, and approaches because they have to try to get through. And the funny thing about that is that the people that I've encountered over the years, personally, and on social media, yeah. But you never really know those people that you encounter kind of day in and day out, here, there, and everywhere on social media. You don't know those people. But the people you know, friends, family, associates, those people who don't want to hear, they want to live in ignorance. They want to ignore. They don't care if you're telling them the truth. Because what you're telling them is going to cause discomfort. Now you're going to make me uncomfortable. Now I won't be at leisure in all the things that I love to do, all the things I love to think, all the things I love to believe in. You are going to make me very uncomfortable about those things, so I don't want to listen. So, look, let's say by a certain point in time, you've got a few people, or maybe, if you're still locked in a church setting, and this is tough. It was for me, and it was for just about everybody I know who has eventually come out of that oppressive, mental, spiritual, emotional setting. And you're trying to talk to the people you know, the people who you care about, that you think care about you. And I don't care if it's your peers or the pastoral team. I don't even want to go into these people. You get to a certain point where you can have like some dialogue. Maybe they'll listen to some of what you have to say about various things. Doesn't matter if you're talking about some preacher who's way out of line, you're talking about some doctrine that's out of line, whatever. Or another topic altogether that doesn't have to do necessarily with the church setting. What you're going to find with a pretty good amount of people is that when they can't argue with the evidence you're presenting them or offer a good... I use the word argue, and a lot of people all of a sudden they think of like an argument, yelling or something. Not that. An argument can simply be two conflicting points of view being expressed back and forth, normal tones of voice, even politely. They can't come up with a good counter-argument. So here's one of the very ugly tactics that are going to be used. And this is where to know the prophets is so vitally important. They're going to say,